And hello, everyone. Sorry for a late start, guys. Nearly 25 minutes late. My apologies, but oi, it's your boy, UK's finest. Give me 1 second here, guys. Ricky J, bringing you the hardest intakes, boldest predictions, and straight up banter from across the pond. Welcome to where the bell never stops ringing. Welcome to the People's Wrestling Podcast. Do go ahead, grab yourself a drink, sit back, relax, get your comments in, like, share, subscribe, all of that. Thank you to 440 subscribers now, and thank you to all those who view my post on TikTok. But I don't come here alone, never alone. This week, got a co-host, hopefully the co-host going forward. Speaking of from across the pond, from the great country of the United States of America, the man himself, the man they call Hollywood, here he is, it is Sean Gold. Wearing his West Ham t-shirt, the Gunners.
3-0, let's go. Let's go. 3-0 over Nottingham Forest today. Come on. We don't suck like everybody thinks we do. Let's be clear.
Regular viewers to the podcast will know I don't. I watch microscopic amounts of football. I'm all wrestling.
We'll work on that. Want to know why? Because it's cheaper to watch that than it is to watch WWE. I'm just saying.
I suppose. Well, Netflix is 10. For me, I think it's £5-6 a month.
I think it's for me. It's like $14. $14. It's crazy. It's literally
to watch Raw.
It's literally to watch Raw. To watch Raw. To what? Do you remember when they wait? Do you remember when the announcement was made about Netflix? Everybody. The first thing I thought was, oh, no commercials. Like, that's the first thing I thought in my head. I was like, oh, this is no commercials and you can curse as much as you want, right? That's my thought process, right? It gets launched and there's barely any cursing and there's a commercial just like it was on USA. Like,
they do seem to curse a lot more, but no, for me it's commercial free, but
not for me. It is not commercial free.
They have the clock in the corner in the countdown, so it's still live.
Yeah. Live.
But it's usually filler. It's an interview, or it's New Day coming out talking, or it's filler. But anyway, yeah. So obviously, people won't know you. So you want to tell my viewers about yourself? I know that you're a wrestler. So you want to tell people about that, and you also went to Fib in the Door. If you want to tell that now, or when we get to the wrestling roundup.
Yeah, I mean, we could dabble in it a little bit. So I'll give you guys my background a little bit. I don't need to get you into my soccer background, though. If some of you are football enthusiasts, right? I did play professionally for 2 years. About 20 years ago, right? I know I look like I'm 12, but I'm not at all. Played in the early stages of the MLS for the Metro Stars, which are the Red Bulls now. Long since retired. And in the professional wrestling business, as much as I can be at this point. Idea behind it was originally I wanted to bring a professional wrestling event to my town. I am a PTA president for one of the elementary schools, so wanted to bring it. Thought financially it made sense to bring it to, and I wanted to be responsible for it, and that kind of jumped to inevitably becoming a character. Right in this particular company called Gremlin House Wrestling originally, and that inevitably made me essentially have a faction, a theme song, a heel persona, and then that has kind of piggybacked and jumped to other wrestling organizations. Last night in Philadelphia, I debuted for a company called Titan Pro Wrestling, Titan Championship Wrestling. I was a face. I am the vice president of Titan Championship Wrestling. I use that loosely, right? And anybody says that it's a lot easier to be loved than hated doesn't really know, right? It's so much better to be hated and so much easier to be hated than it is to be loved. And so that was an interesting situation and the kind of a switch for me. But yeah, I'm in the business as much as I can be at 41 years old with a full-time job. But yeah, it's that's me, guys, and I bring in 39 years of watching professional wrestling, right? The good old days, if you will.
I've done a little bit of training. Not for me, it hurts. The warm up, whether they were just trying to kill us as trainees, I don't know. But the warm up itself killed me. It hurts. Being slammed on the ring hurts. So not for me. I'd rather just go and watch the shows. I'm a big supporter of indie wrestling. I go to a lot of indie wrestling a month, 3, 4, 5 shows a month.
I would say people think so. I've a show before, not this one yesterday night, but a show in June I was in. Got kendo stick like 4 times, made the sound, and you would think that hurt. It does not. What hurts is running the ropes, right? So like those ropes are really hard. Like they're really, there's cables and stuff. Like it hurts. Like that hurts a lot more than you would think or you see on your televisions, right? You think it's just you think it's like whatever. You hit those ropes, man, it is a whole level of pain that you don't feel until later. And I had bruised ribs, and I thought it was from a kendo stick because I was like, that makes sense, right? But it was from running the ropes. It's crazy.
Are ropes easier to run than cable? I'm guessing they're easier. I know.
A little bit. A little bit. A little bit. It really depends on the promotion, right? Typically your independent promotions they are relatively cabled, right? And they hurt a little more. It also has to do with how much give, right, the ropes are, right? So if you're a tight rope, you're gonna shoot off of it better, but it's gonna hurt more. It's gonna hurt way more. Last night I was in the ring in probably about 3 hours before the event, and my daughter was in the ring, and I was just kind of messing around. I like to kind of take like go to like the turnbuckles area, kind of take a bump and jump to like the middle rope, because I'm not about to, the luchas, right? Your pentas, all those people, they can jump from like the bottom to the top rope. I'm not about to do that. Like I'll end up flying over the rope, right? But I usually end up doing that. And I did that. I came down, and then my daughter was running the ropes very like loosely. And then I grabbed her, and I threw her into the rope, and she hit that rope hard. And she's like, "What is going on?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's what it really feels like." So
just running the ropes.
just running the ropes, yeah.
But yes, everybody do check out Titan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah. Check out Titan Championship Wrestling at Titan Championship Wrestling on Instagram. Also check out Gremlin House Wrestling. We have a show. So I have 6 or 7 shows for Titan up from now until November 15th. But on the 25th of October, we have Gremlin House Wrestling. It's in Hamilton, New Jersey. We got Zilla Fatu, Sandman, Journey Fatu, Hoko, which is Haku's son, Marcus Mathers, WWE ID guy, and a bunch of other up and coming independent wrestlers. That are gonna be on your screen soon. So check it out.
So yes, check out Titan Championship Wrestling. Have I got that correct?
Yeah, that Titan Championship, and then also Gremlin House, which is that
on Facebook. I checked it out a little bit. It looks good. Yeah, it looks good. Like I said, I go to a lot of indies, so. But yeah, so check out these 2 upcoming shows. If you've got nothing to do, guys, in October, head to these on the 25th.
Yeah,
the man himself, see on your screen, will be appearing.
A photo of me right there. I mean, it's beautiful. I'd like to thank LinkedIn for that. And that same show, but that's the full. That's the full, like, kind of like the full big. Massive flyer. So obviously you see Sandman in the middle, Janai Kai, Zilla's right there, Journey's right there, Tommy Invincible, an up and coming obviously guy on indie, Hollywood Haley J to the right of Sandman, obviously from NWA, also from Power Slap as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I saw Sandman's getting back interested, so I'm going to very
Yeah,
quick clip and another
yeah,
show.
I
And
think he's more. Yeah, correct. I think he's more. Look, this show is 30 minutes outside of Philadelphia, right? It's in Hamilton, New Jersey. It's where I live. And so you're going to get the Philly crowd, right? So why better not to pull up an ECW legend? I have asked to be kendoed by him, not in the public because I'm not kind of in that story. It doesn't really make sense, but I have asked backstage to be kendoed. We'll see if that happens. I don't want him to hold back, right? Especially since I know what a kendo feels like at this point. Like, what better conversation can we have than me going, so what'd you do last night? Well, I got kendoed by Sandman. Just want to let you know. It's a good conversation.
very cool story to have.
Yeah, for sure.
But we will kick off with our first segment here, and that first segment is what's cooking at the table. So I'll let you take it first, Sean. Do you want to tell my viewers what, obviously you've been to Forbidden Door, you can mention that here, or we get to round up, and what have you been up to this week?
Man, so just got back from London Thursday night. Was in London for 8 days. Did see Forbidden Door. I will tell you that this is my first time in the O2, right? So I've been to London. It's my fourth time in London, right? So, but the first time at the O2. The atmosphere of the O2 is unreal. It is, and look, I was in attendance when Dolph Ziggler cashed in the Money in the Bank, right? Right after, right on Del Rio, right? I was there. That is the level of intensity that show had and those people had all night, right? I always say, I'm really, for all the faults that WWE has, they are understanding now to go overseas. It's just a better crowd, right? Like they're just, because here's the thing, they're appreciative of them being there, and they let you know. And man, I got to tell you, when Adam Copeland's music hit and Metalingus,
Yeah, they were singing, yeah.
And so it's funny because I was sitting next to somebody and they're like, I don't, because the match, let's be clear, the match wasn't that good. Like, but it was not about being that good, right? That's not what the story was. And he's like, I don't understand why they opened the show with that. And I said, you opened the show with that for the 30 seconds when you turn off the music towards the end of that third verse of that song, and you had the whole crowd singing. I said, there is not a bigger moment in time than when you start the show. Everybody's red hot, ready to go. And I was like, it was a perfect placement for that. And then when Will Ospreay, I'm a huge Will Ospreay fan, and when he came out at the end with his entrance, also crowd was insane. So, that's what's been cooking on that situation, right? Like, Forbidden Door was great.
I was there for SmackDown and Money in the Bank, so yeah, I know what the O2 can be like. But yeah, very wild crowd.
Yeah,
then after we got a lot. We got Reigns, Cena, Ronda, Trish, Logan for a London show.
Yeah.
But you are right when I'm going over to see, like, on SmackDown, Randy Orton's, they were louder singing Orton's theme this time than they were last year. Was it last year? Backlash? Yeah. Last year? Yeah. No. 2 years ago. I don't know. Whenever Backlash was, I think it was last year.
It was last year.
Styles and Cody. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, last year, but I think they were even louder this year.
Oh yeah,
I know they started off the singing of Orton's theme, which I thought was very.
All this came from, and it's so funny because it started obviously overseas for me, and then it's kind of trickled into America, kind of. It's never gonna be like it is in Cardiff, in Paris, in Lyon, in London, in Germany, in Brussels, right? It's never gonna be that level of intensity. But now you start seeing, when you're like in the States, you start to hear Roman Reigns, right? Like the Americans didn't start. This was an overseas thing. And every time you watch an event with WWE or AEW or freaking TNA or whatever it is, when you're overseas, The only thing that, at least from our side of things, is shit. I wish I was there. Like,
correct, but it's also get on with it. As much as I'm a massive
hijack the show.
Current all-time,
they hijacked the show. Oh yeah,
Reigns my current all-time favorite, but 5 minutes before he spoke.
Oh yeah.
5 minutes of nothing. 5 minutes of Roman Reigns, stand up if you, whatever they say, stand up if you love Roman.
Stand up, it was like stand up if you love Roman, and then like Roman was sitting there going,
it's like also that's cool, and we're the wild crowd, and I get, and WB are very smart. They go where 12 years since they've been in Birmingham, England. Never, Dublin has never had a SmackDown, so they go to a certain place, and they know they're going to get a hot crowd. But it's get on with it.
Well, here's the thing. That's why I don't believe, for the most part, you'll ever see. Well, maybe in the future, but I don't think at this point you'll ever see an NXT show, like a massive NXT show in those areas and covered on like the CW, because in America, CW there's an 11 or is it 10 p.m. There's a 10 p.m. hard stop on for the news, right? It doesn't matter what's going on in the show. If you're overrun, with Birmingham, right, with Roman Reigns, it didn't matter. That could have went on for an hour because with Netflix, there's no hard stop. With the partnership with USA they've had for 30 years at this point, they could purchase that extra 5-minute overrun, and it's not that big of a deal. But for places like the CW, AEW does it all the time. Right, with TNT, they do it for TNT all the time. Tony Schiavone will get on the thing and he'll be like, "Oh, we're gonna stay with this match until it's over." And it could be like 10-13 or 10-14 at that point, right? Like, because they're just purchasing the time. With CW, you can't do it.
But very quickly, what have I been up to? Well, I go to the gym. I try and keep fit, going to the gym 4 times a week. I go to a walking group twice. So a day, a walking group. I joined the second one, and I attend a craft class every week. And I did make this week half and half, like
nice.
clashing card, and it does help me. It keeps me calm. I color like just coloring like pictures. Just so I did that this week.
Oh, I love it. My calmness is and I haven't done it as much as I used to. I like to get on the golf course, right, and play. Up until probably this year, or maybe even like a year and a half ago, I was probably playing like 100 rounds a year, right? Like keeps calm type thing. Get that 4 hours out there. This year, I've turned the wrestling, the golf obsession into doing things with wrestling. So whole different ballgame there.
Plenty of coffee, and the calms me down, so it helps keep me calm.
For sure.
I can just kind of dump it all out at the gym, and yeah.
Well, it makes sense to me. I'm in the gym. I try to get in a minimum of 3 times a week, if not more. And it's not for long periods of time. It's just when I have the time, right? So if I have 30 minutes, it's just 30 minutes. You do a quick 30-minute set, even do a complete turnaround set, and then you keep moving.
My goal is to be like The Rock, but
you gotta first start with that, right? I feel like you can start with that, right?
And he lives in the gym and he's incredibly healthy.
It's so crazy how insanely healthy he is, but then he doesn't do it as much anymore. I remember he used to put like that Sunday cheat day pick, right? Like his food cheat day pick, and like that pick was like 47 pancakes, 135 eggs, and then like 3 sushi rolls. And you're like, why don't you just like not do that as much? You don't need 47 pancakes. You could have 5 and just it's still a cheat meal. It still is.
He knows how to enjoy it. So I would eat 5 pancakes and be like, right. No, not 47.
when I listen, when in May, when I knew I was getting in the ring in June, like fully getting in the ring and like doing some stuff, taking some bumps, doing some things, I was in the gym all the time and I super healthy, right? It was super clean cut, healthy. And the minute I put like a Taco Bell burrito in my stomach, I was like, oh, I can't move.
But yeah, so that's what I've been up to. Have you got anything on the pipeline coming up? You've got shows coming up or nothing?
No, I mean, we have a show on. Titan has a show on September 13th. Apparently, from what I understand, there's 2 cage matches. I need to see kind of where my story is going to be invested into that kind of that day. We need to kind of talk about those things. But for the most part, now, man, I got 3 kids. School starting next week for us. I have a 9-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old. 9-year-old starting 4th grade, 5-year-old starting kindergarten, and the 2-year-old starting pre-K or whatever. And so it's just kind of getting everybody together. It's going to be crazy in America. Labor Day is the end of officially the summer. I think for the kids, I think as you become an adult, Labor Day is just a Monday you get off sometimes. I don't look at summers as like people are saying like, oh, you sad summer's over. I said, it's just a season, right? It's just a season. It's warmer, right? Yeah, I love the warm weather. I hate the cold weather, but it's just a season. It's not like nothing. There's not like a bell that triggers off in my head. Go, oh,
true, so, very true.
I love American football, right? So I'm a huge. I love American football. Now I don't watch it as much now because Sundays are soccer days for American soccer, but football days for my daughter who plays, who's a right mid, and it's great that it's on. I'm really happy, right? But I also know that football brings colder weather and the winter. So
very true. You've been to the UK, to England. We have some. I don't know if you've been here in the winter, but
I've been to. So the first time I went to the UK was end of January. It wasn't. I went to a Chelsea Fulham game because my first time in London, and it wasn't. It's funny for some strange reason. And I was talking to the taxi cabs about this. I said it was only like. I don't know. I could wear this, and like I was good, and they're like, this is abnormal. And then I flew to Turkey like 3 days later, and who was supposed to be warmer, was snowing, and so I've been to the UK twice during the winter. Pretty much like for us, it was like the high 50s, and that's okay. Like that for the winter, that's okay, right? Like that's not bad. But I do know that you guys do get some rather chilly days.
Horrible days. I do not like the winter or cold weather or snow at all. It's nice to look out on Christmas Day. That's about it.
Yeah. So for us, we barely get, and I live in New Jersey, so we get the cold days too, right? We'll get like a week of like 10 degrees, right? We very rarely get that. I agree with you. I would love on a Christmas morning to wake up and have that clean sheet of white snow, but very rarely does that ever align. It always ends up happening where you're trying to, it's like February and you're trying to get through winter going like, okay, March is going to start to warm up a little bit. And then you get like oh, sorry, there's 2 feet of snow on the ground. And you're like, man.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't like cold weather, but we'll quickly move along here to the next. I don't know if you're a movie fan or not, but
I do dabble.
But yeah, we'll get on with the next segment here, and that is right, all about Hollywood.
Love it.
movie talk. So the 2 movies I watched starring wrestlers, because I'm trying to watch as many films with wrestlers in, are, give me 1 second. So The Red, with a small cameo from Nathan Jones in. It was okay. It's about a possessed kangaroo.
Okay.
was okay at best. It was okay at best. And Kilroy is here just over an hour, so technically a movie. Chris Jericho was in it, so that's why I watched it again. This was actually decent. It was a decent movie.
Yeah, it's just over an hour. It sounds like just a long episode of something.
So yeah, that's the movie. 2 movies I've been watching. Have you watched any latest? Have you watched any latest movies? Have you got your eye on any going to the cinema or anything like that?
Yeah. So, it's funny. I see. Obviously, I flew back, right? So, watched movies on the flight. End up still just messing around on Ted Lasso and stuff like that because I'm a huge Ted Lasso fan. But I will, keeping with the theme of wrestling movies. We could talk about Happy Gilmore 2. Let's talk about Happy Gilmore 2, right? MJF, solid role with a cameo by Becky Lynch, solid role by MJF, right? That was good. It's still good. It's funny because I rewatched it again and I thought I was gonna hate it again because I watched the first time and I was like, oh, it's cool. Like, it did its job. Second time I watched it, I was like, this is funny. Now, I will tell you, really funny about that movie. Lots of scenes were shot where I got married. So the scene where they go into the clubhouse or Travis Kelce's there and stuff like that. And he's doing stuff that was shot at the Pleasantdale Chateau. So shout out to the Pleasantdale Chateau in West Orange, New Jersey. Yes, that was shot there. And so that was good. And then the other movie I just watched, I think just before I left, was a movie called Heads of State, I think it's called. It's with John Cena and John Cena and Idris Elba. Great movie. I mean, great for what it was, right? Great for like a slapstick comedy action film. Was really good. I recommend it. And if you have like a 90 or 2 hours of time, you don't even need to like watch it so perfectly. Like you could have it on the background. It's still going to do its justice.
Yeah, Cena's getting a whole lot better at his movies.
Yeah.
I think he's becoming a little bit like Batista, possibly, where he can play anything. Like The Rock, as much as I love The Rock, it's either comedy or action. That's it.
Yeah.
But Batista, did he get voted the best actor?
Right. So, okay. So, yes. Right. Yes. Best wrestling actor. Okay. Okay. So, I have some thoughts on that. So, okay. And then just maybe because I'm not a huge Guardian of the Galaxy fan in general. I like the ride at Disney. But I don't think he's that good of an actor.
I think he can play any role. He can be
definitely serious. He can be funny. I think action. I do think so. I agree. We'll see. The Rock is coming out with a movie where he's a UFC fighter. Is that correct?
Yeah. The Smashing Machine, which he looks huge in, and he doesn't even look like The Rock.
Huge, and there's tons of makeup, right? There are tons of things going on there. So it's, I think, more of a serious movie. I think, right? I think more of a serious movie. So I'm eager to see him in kind of that role. So we'll see. We'll see if he can. We'll see if he can step it up a little bit. God knows he has tons of time to do it.
Yeah. And then, Cena's got a few. I think Cena's currently making a movie? Possibly. I think this whole
making a movie in Bayonne. About 35 minutes north of me. He was shooting in Bayonne, I think in Hoboken as well, with Mark. I think it was shooting with Mark Ruffalo, I think. So I don't exactly know what the movie is about. But I know he was doing it. Did something. It's some kind of film, and Google's not telling me what it is. So
not only is he a wrestler currently, he's also filming a movie and promoting it. All this with a bad hip.
I think that I think that with him, I think he's smart about things by saying he has 9 dates left, by saying, he's, it's the end of the thing. you look at the Rock situation, right? And it's not in the Rock now. I'm talking about the Rock, let's say in 29, WrestleMania 29, and the situation that happened afterwards, which was the fact that he tore his oblique in the ring and he had to pause filming whatever he was doing at that time. And there are contracts in place when you're an actor, and there are insurance policies in place. You basically can't do things. You can't like go like bungee jumping, right? You can't get in a wrestling ring. Like if you can't, and if you do, it depends on the situation and you get hurt, that stops production, halts monies and stuff like that. So I think from a Cena perspective, he hasn't gotten hurt, knock on wood, right? At all in this run. And I'm sure he has some things in 2026 that are essentially important from a movie perspective, and he probably can't take off anymore.
Yeah, people are saying, and I think this is the last. I think we've got 4 months left, and that's it. But people are saying his last match is going to be The Rock comes out and says, "You retire when I say you can retire," and it's Rock Cena 3 at WrestleMania next year. But I can't see that happening. I think this is it. But
yeah, I think this is it as well. I think that he's been very good about. Okay, so he's been very good about going back to the things we had talked offline about, right? Which is TKO and how they're, financially, they are all about money, right? So yes, in theory, I agree. I can't see Cena doing that, but you know what? We could be wrong. I imagine his last show is in Boston, right? That's what I imagine. What if that ticket's going to be highly priced, right? Highly priced. All of a sudden, right? Everybody's paying quadruple, sextuple.
Yeah,
right?
I was just going to say that.
Like an hour show, it's going to be $5 million, and everybody's like, I have that last ticket for John Cena's last match. I was there, and then all of a sudden, TKO says, WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Right? I could see it. That you know what? Do it. That could be what all of us need to be like. I need a break. Like, I don't know.
But before we get into news and headlines and Boyers news, I will play one of my ads, and I want to play that right now.
Sure.
So that is right. Protein Teas Gum one to get 2 shout outs. Go and purchase a shirt. Link in the description. But there is news, and we'll get into it in 1 second from now.
In the world of wrestling.
Yes, news and headlines. Everyone's wading on it, but we'll weigh on in it. We'll give our opinion on. Of course, this. Of course.
Yes.
Give me 1 second. So, Roger Jackson attacks wrestler.
Yes.
So, very quickly, I'll give my thoughts, and then obviously you can give yours, Sean. So, I think it's just a mess on top of a mess on top of a mess on top of a mess. So, these are all unanswered questions. I get they're all unanswered, but who was it? Who is Roger Jackson? People only know about him because of this. Why was he brought in? Why didn't the rest of the roster know about him? He went into the locker room of Knox Pro Wrestling. So I can understand why Stu thought it was a work, because you are going into where they're getting ready for the matches. But why was he there? Why was he brought in? Why didn't anybody know that he was being brought in? Why would you bring in somebody that has no clue about wrestling? And then, what happened? He got riled up and put Stu Grayson. That's AEW, isn't it? Stu Smith, Psycho Stu, in hospital, knocked his teeth out, broke his face. And then somebody pinned him. Why? Why? Why?
So,
and then what I've heard online is somebody said that they thought he was just a fan. Oh, I've got somebody else coming in as well. So yeah, my previous co-host is coming in as well, so we'll bring him in to weigh in on this. He's a bit late, but here he is. The man himself, the anti-Mark, he wants to call himself Marcus from Philadelphia. Hello, Marcus.
oh, what up, dude?
Yo,
How come you come to my show last night, bro? I was at 2400 North 11th Street last night.
I didn't even know about it.
Well, I don't know. Titan Championship Wrestling. Come on, over at the we were at the Carnival in the Hood.
And well, actually, Marcus might like this because he's a obviously ECW. But if you're interested, Marcus, this is the next show's coming up. Give me 1 second. Take this off screen. Give me 1 second, Marcus. So yeah, that's the next show. Is that near you, Marcus? I don't know. I don't know where you live. So
I would have to get in the car and get there.
Yeah. Well, Sandman's going to be there. So and Zilla Fatu. So he's going to be there too. Give me 1 second. There you go. So yeah, you got the Sandman, Zilla Fatu. So a couple of Sandman's a star, but yeah.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
It's all up to you, isn't it, Marcus? I don't know how far that away is from you, but anyway, very quickly, Marcus, what have you been up to? It's been several weeks since you've been on, so quickly give us a quick speed through what you've been up to.
Wherever the hell I want and going back to work.
But yeah, so you keep talking about this, the Roger Jackson situation, the incidents. But yeah, so yes, as you were coming in, what I heard online is other fans at the event thought this was just a random fan. It just gets worse and worse. A random fan ran in, attacks a wrestler, and they just called off the show. That was it. And then obviously this is a WWE affiliate. They've lost that. I presume probably not Rikishi, but somebody in the company is telling the roster not to give any information to authorities, and then Raja's not been arrested, and not only that, he's been booked with another was a WWE affiliate, Danger Pro Wrestling. Just a complete mess on top of a mess on top of a mess. So, Sean, your thoughts on this?
All right.
Also, you're a wrestler as well, so you probably see this from a different perspective than I do.
No. Okay. So apparently, let's back up. Right, we need to back up on it. So apparently, the reason why he was there was his father, Rampage Jackson, is friends with the promotion and promoter. So there's a tie-in there. The diciness of what happened prior to the run-in, from the backstage situation of Stu messing with him in a funny / way that went a little extreme, and then to a point of them at least supposedly squashing it back there. Many kind of videos I've seen. To a guy by the name of AJ Mana, who is telling Raja that he needs to go in and get his receipt, to a situation where, like you had just said, he's not a real trained wrestler. He is a real trained fighter. Now, we know that from his suplex that he did on Stu, because that's not a normal thing you see. A random guy That's someone who's trained in that form. Apparently Stu was knocked out at that moment. The punches didn't knock him out. Stu was already knocked out at that point. And then proceeded to, if the math from what I heard was correct,
23.
I would say 22 punches, but landed 17 of them. I think, look, first off, no, I'm not remotely on his side at all. I will say I think everything in life falls onto two things, which is shock and awe, right? We talk about that, shock and awe. And I think that anybody around the ring was shocked. I think a wrestler, a referee was awed. And at that point, they were like, in their minds, you were questioning, is this part of the show? Even people that are on the show probably questioning it. And so I think that was probably that initial thought. I will say, and anybody on this podcast, you can say, throwing 17 punches happens like that, 22 punches like that, right? Like pop, pop, pop. Floyd Mayweather, he throw 8 punches before you backed up. You didn't even know what happened on a counterpunch. You had no idea. And so from that perspective, I will say the fallout afterwards has been absolutely insane. Raja's response afterwards was insane. AJ Mana's response in character, insane. And WWE wants to distance themselves from this ID program. I will say that now has probably opened up a situation where there's a bigger vetting process than before in the WWE ID program, let's say. But that's my thoughts, right? My thoughts are I don't condone it. I am very shocked at this point that he hasn't been arrested, because I've seen people arrested for way less. Way less.
Yeah, Raja's response when I presume it was AJ Mana, said he flatlined. So basically, he killed him. He was dead in the ring. And he went, "Well, my bad. You killed the guy."
And it was premeditated. Right. It was premeditated. So I could understand if you weren't, was it premeditated? The shot, more of a shock and awe, but or from a legal end of things. But the fact that it was premeditated, the fact that he hasn't been picked up for questioning, leads me to show just how bad our judicial system really is.
Or Stu's, a lot of money's coming Stu's way, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, but yes, but there's not. The answer is there's not two sides to every story, but there is a lot of video, right? And a good lawyer, he'll get stopped. First off, the GoFundMe has been great. I think their goal originally was like 2,500, and they got like 2,500, 250,000 or something like that at this point. So GoFundMe is great for that type stuff. But I don't think that's the goal of this. This man, this Raja Jackson, he's not well, right?
No, he had a concussion, didn't he?
He's not a well individual. Even his father, Rampage, right, came out and said that. Like I saw a video where like he put money aside for his kids' colleges, which is totally respectful and totally like, and then he was like, I put money aside for Raja's bail. When your father says that in public, like I got 3 kids. When you scold, like I scold my oldest in public, it's really 5 times worse than what I'm doing, how bad she's being at that point. So for him, like to say that, it's 5 times worse than what he actually really means. So yeah, that's my long-winded opinion on it.
Yeah, Marcus, your thoughts on the whole situation? You're reading over there. You're reading the book of. I was going to think of some wrestling term. I can't think of one. Anyway, your thoughts on this whole Raja Jackson situation?
I mean, it's clear that he had no purpose or place near or in a ring. even being within a promotion, right? Like, yes, he has training as a fighter, but that sometimes doesn't translate over to in-ring, right? Remember, what the professional wrestling business is predetermined, right? When you do a worked punch, it has to look good, but it should not truly land the way his punches were landed, right? This is why when you see good work punches, and then you see really bad work punches, right? Or hell, there's wrestlers that do throw forearms instead of punches because the punch don't look good. He clearly doesn't have the wrestling background nor training. Sadly, I think when I saw the clip of the wrestlers telling him like, yeah, you gotta give that guy a receipt. Huh? You're just as accountable as Raja is for initiating what happened.
Absolutely. Because
the culture of professional wrestling is, receipts are given, right? Mm-hmm. But you also understand that there's a reason why a receipt is given, right? Those in the business understand that a receipt is because someone was going too fast, doing a little bit too much, and you gotta get one lick back for it, right? Just one lick back. Raja landed 17 punches on a man that was already down and out. Could have made the situation any more worse than it already was. You do not need that. That dude should never have been in the ring in the first place. I don't know what references they looked up. I don't know if they were trying to get someone legitimate to be in their ring. But look at the consequences, and the consequences are due or perfectly or not perfectly fine, but it's deserved. And Raja should be either in an insane asylum somewhere or in jail, because wrestling still has to go through proper channels for it to get cleared. We all know. I think we all know that, right? But it's also known that it's a sports entertainment thing. It's not fake. It's predetermined. The stuff still hurts, right? I was listening before I jumped on. Running the ropes hurt. Getting slammed on that canvas hurts. Yeah. Everything hurts. Hell, a work punch could hurt because it's not like you get fully hit. You getting partially hit. You might.
If you're not prepared, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you're not prepared or if you went into it too much. Yep. But it's obvious that Raja was a kid doing a little bit too much.
But he's not a kid. But there's the thing, he's not a kid. And one of the things, it's funny you say that, because one of the things people are saying is like, he's a kid. He's a 25-year-old adult.
Right.
He's 25 years old. Or like if he was a kid, like 16 years old, 15 years old, 14 years old, like even like 17, right? I'm not gonna say I'm gonna condone it, right? But I could get behind the fact of rehabilitation, right? And he's a kid, he can learn, right, from his mistakes. Look, I don't care if you accidentally shoot someone at 12, right? You from Philly? I'm from Hamilton, right? Like we see this stuff on NBC every morning.
Yep.
And you know, like you see kids like 13 years old shooting up somebody. Like there actually is ability for rehabilitation for these people. Like you can get older and more wiser. This guy's father is saying, get this kid out of society.
Right. And that's where the problem is, right? Like who did anyone want to talk to Rampage about, hey, we think about putting Raja on the show. Should we do that? Right? Yeah. Because once again, Raja doesn't know pro wrestling culture. He knows how to fight. Fighting and pro wrestling are not the same thing. Nope. It's not, right? Like we all know that. Like we all know Brock Lesnar could kill a guy.
Oh yeah.
Right? Brock Lesnar has been in many wrestling matches. Not one person has ever died. Yeah, he broke Bob Holly's neck. Sure. Yeah. Was that on purpose? No, that was a mistake. Right? Wrestling's not ballet. It's some form of ballet for sure, but it's not ballet.
Well, if you're in a Young Bucks match, it might be
Right.
ballet,
But Raja, he had no purpose being there. He had no reason being there. He should never have been there. And now that promotion has lost his WWE ID privileges. And they're now under a microscope. And honestly, this is one of those things that put wrestling back into a bad light. It's already enough that wrestling had an up moment a couple years ago. Now wrestling's back in like the middle. but now it's about to go to a negative now. So it's a bad situation for a company that pretty much was on the up and coming, on the rise, and now they're back where they're worse off than where they started.
Oh yeah, 100%. And also we talked about lawsuits, right? We were talking about lawsuits before. Stu's family, but there's so many inevitable, even if he's put in jail, there's so many inevitable lawsuits, so many different people involved, because what's going to happen is, again, getting a good lawyer, which I'm sure that they'll probably get, you're going to sue Rampage, you're going to sue Raja, you're going to sue the promotion, you're going to sue the venue. See, I will tell you, when you put on a wrestling show, you submit a minimum of $1 million insurance policy. It's a minimum.
Yep.
And most of the time, it's the idea behind putting the $1 million is really trying to cover, the venue. If a ring gets something, gym floor gets scratched, it's kind of like a homeowner's insurance policy.
Yep.
But in these scenarios, there are things inside of that have to do with ensuring that things won't happen. So what's going to happen is they're going to sue the venue. They're going to win somehow. They're going to do, because they allowed this person in and that's their building. They're going to counter sue the company. The venue is going to sue the company. My guess is, just a guess, it's not set in stone. After it's all said and done, you will never see this company in existence eventually.
Because they're purely connected by name, does a lawyer go after WWE?
Because where's the money coming from? Because
WWE.
But where's the money But WWE has removed themselves from them. They have fired that company as an organization. They are on their own on an island. And so where is the money going to come from for all the lawsuits they're going to have to pay out on? They're going to have to file Chapter 11. They're going to have to. But these, like you're saying, these are things that happen when people are not don't know what's going on. You had said 5 minutes ago about the punches, right? I will tell you that this shit hurts sometimes, right? Like, I got into a Rumble in June, right? I was the producer of it. I laid everything out, right? Perfectly. When I got in the Rumble as like the 9th participant, I was supposed to tell people what to do and get scared when two big guys are, I was like, peace. What ended up happening was people are going into business for themselves. And all of a sudden I took a forearm. Right? It was a legit forearm. Now, I had adrenaline, so it didn't really hurt, right? But if I didn't, it probably would have stung a little bit, because stuff happens in the ring. Last night, I sent you a video, Ricky, right? Last night, right? It was a 4-minute long debut that I did, right? When I got into the heavyweight champion's face. And in the middle of the ring, he was like, yo, this was not discussed beforehand. Yo, I'm going to push you, fall. Cool. I go, cool, because I can do it, right? Cool. Like, in my mind, let's go. Right. But if I didn't know how to do that, I could have hit my head on the turnbuckle, hit my head on the cable. Like you said, the ropes hurt. They do. Like, if you're not trained, and I'm not even like fully trained, right? I'll do things that I know how to do because I've been taught those things. But I'm not about to get powerbomb suplexed, throw a drop kick. I can throw a clothesline. I might go on the top. I can go through a table. I've been kendoed, right? But I'm not about to go get into the ring or even remotely do what Raja did in that slam he did. Like, that's a slam of someone who's in a octagon, who trains at a facility or has a parent that has.
Mm-hmm.
I've been right. You're around daddy at work, if you will.
So yes, that's our thoughts on that story. There is another news story. We'll just very quickly cover that, and that is, it shows a picture. There it is. 3 WWE ID releases. So Aaron Roberts, no idea. Ice Williams had 1 match, and those up to date. I presume he takes on, for those that watch Evolve, I presume he takes on Shawn Legacy and losers, but. As of now, being 1 match, and there was 8 man, and then Jordan Oasis, I don't think has won a match on Evolve, so these are no loss. So there you go. That's my thoughts.
Are those guys? Here's my question, and I don't know this answer. Hopefully you do. Are those guys part of Rikishi's thing?
Ice Williams, I think, is Booker T's, and Jordan Owens, no idea.
I thought that, like, because once you release the actual physical company from the ID agreement, you lose all those people too. So I didn't know if
that could be the way we'll get into this, but that people are saying is that the reason Solo lost? He's got backstage heat. Maybe, who knows? Maybe Sami Zayn was planned to win the title, or it was just a last minute thing. That's what people are saying. I'm not, but
yeah.
If that's the case and it's backstage heat, it's interesting. Anyway, Marcus, any thoughts on these ID releases? What sort of people you don't watch Evolve, so you have no idea, I presume, who these are. So any thoughts whatsoever?
I mean, it always sucks when people lose their job, right? But there's obviously a reason why WWE had wanted to release them. Maybe they're not developing the way they want them to, or whatever the means is. But it doesn't mean that their career is over, right? Like, these are obviously young, or at least people that have some type of spotlight. They could go back to the companies that they were working for. They can up their prices on the indie scene whenever they get booked, because they at least had a WWE contract somewhere, right? They made some type of WWE money. They showed up. They was at the PC, so their amount of money goes up. So yes, it's a negative, but just like any other WWE release, this could also be a positive. And this might not be the last time that we see them.
And I usually say, with any release, you could have done something with them. The last one was for Cross, but Ashanti the Adonis, and I said you could have put him on Evolve. These three, these are not for the company.
But I think they, the WWE has shown a pathway of this now. There's, back in the day when they would fire people, like, there was no pathway. There's a pathway now, right? Cody Rhodes showed the pathway. Drew McIntyre showed the pathway. Cardona is still showing the pathway, and all of these people are. If you want to come back, Cross, right? If you want to come back, reinvent yourself on the indies and make it a situation where you have no choice, and then make the decision if you want to come back. Look at Cardona. If you even talk to Cardona, he wants to come back, but he also doesn't want to come back, right? He wants to come back, but I got to tell you, Matt, I think Matt's like $5,000, maybe more sometimes. Like, and then he has all his other stuff that he does. He has like 4 LLCs. Like, he's killing the game, right? He is the prototype independent wrestler. Shotzi, the same situation. Shotzi's with GCW, but she's doing independent things, and she's making way more money than she was before. And you're controlling your schedule, right? Like, I think there's a huge, in 2025, there's a huge want and desire to control what is controllable. And they have the ability to control what they do on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If they don't want to wrestle Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they don't have to. If they want to take one booking and it's a 10-minute match, and they get $50 meet and greets and all the merch, they can do it. Like you were saying, like Marcus was saying, like, it's not the worst thing in the world.
True. I suppose do you watch Evolve, or I know there's a hell of a lot of WWE content, but are you an Evolve watcher or no?
Can't.
Fair enough.
It's just too much. Right? There's just too much.
It's just too much.
Just too much.
I agree, but I do watch it all. Raw, SmackDown, the Evolve Speed when it was a thing. I watched.
It's getting like football. It's getting like American football. Like, and again, I told you I'm a huge football fan, right? And Marcus has got Go Birds in the background. Right?
Go Birds.
And we think it's really cool sometimes when magically we have a game on Tuesday. That's freaking cool. Like, it doesn't happen all the time. But if it starts happening all the time, then it becomes less cool, right? It becomes less cool. So think about this: Mondays, right? At least from a wrestling perspective, Mondays, Raw, Tuesdays, NXT, Wednesdays, Dynamite, Thursdays, TNA, or anything else you get your hands on at that point, and you have Evolve, whatever time that is. Friday is SmackDown, Saturday is Collision, and Sunday someone has something. And I listen. I'm a huge AEW fan, right? When they first started, first off, I was at the first show in DC, and then I was probably up and down the East Coast with them. I have a friend who's in the business who works for AEW, up and down the road, right? I think I went to every Baltimore show, obviously New Jersey, Philly, Temple University, like there all the time doing that, like seeing them there. But when they launched Collision, or they launched like whatever. What did they launch before after Rampage? Rampage. Like I watched it for a bit. It's just too much. I can't justify it in life anymore. I'm not 15. I can't do it.
Yeah, I regularly check I'll play checked up last night's Collision results, and I just look at them and think I've missed nothing. And it's not because it's not WWE. I watch WWE, TNA, AAA. I watch the AW pay-per-views, but I look at the Collision results and think I've missed nothing. Not one thing.
Let's say Roman, take Roman out of the picture for a second, right? Let's say Roman's doing whatever Roman does, right? Like he does now, right? He's part-time. Let's call it, he's a part-timer. It's okay. I get it. You should, right? You should. He's deserved it. The numbers don't lie. But if Roman wasn't there, I know you'd still watch it. But if you took a step back and did it like you said with AEW, you'd realize what? You didn't miss much.
You take out Reigns of this week's Raw, an average viewer missed nothing. SmackDown, take out Cena, they missed nothing.
Right? Marcus, what do you think? Like, that's the same thing.
So, my perspective is, so everyone's a star. Because obviously, if you've made it to WWE, you made it to the top of the mountain. Right? It doesn't matter how low you are on the card, where you at in the card. Because where you at on the WWE card, you could be near the top in the AEW card. That's just how it works out. In TNA, same thing. You might be the champion in TNA, right?
Yeah, true.
Now, with that being said, me personally, I feel like even with Cena and Reigns there, you ain't missed nothing. The social media page that WWE has, it just makes you don't miss nothing because of how they post on social media. And how frequent it is, and you never feel like you can miss a segment. They give you the most important parts of the show, or the parts that you want to see of the show, on their social media page. So why do I need to? Because I don't have Netflix. So why do I even need to watch Raw? SmackDown, as I tell Ricky all the time, Friday nights, primetime TV during Friday nights suffer the most because people go outside.
Correct.
People live their lives. They go on dates. They do what they want to do because it's Friday night.
Correct.
Right? No one wants to really sit in the house and watch SmackDown.
Correct.
That's just not a happening thing. So, yeah, wrestling on Tuesdays. All right, that's great. That's awesome. Because no one goes outside on a Tuesday. It's just a random day of the week. Wednesday, great day. Nothing wrong with that. Thursday, once again, nothing really wrong with that sometimes. But Friday, and then Raw being on Monday, in about a week or so,
Monday Night Football, baby.
It's about to be competing with Monday Night Football. And guess what? In America, football is like a religion.
Yeah.
Wrestling has always been a big competitor with professional football and with college football, and it always fails both ways. So it doesn't matter, even if it is Reigns, and mind you, it took Reigns a while to get to where he's at today. Because we used to boo that man when WWE wanted us to cheer him, and it never really worked out. So until they finally listened to us, and then we listened to them finally. Because right now, look at him; he's getting cheered. He's not getting my cheers. I don't acknowledge him, but everybody else does. John Cena. This is John Cena's last run, so it's hard to boo a man that is on his last run. That gave a lot of people their childhood memories. That's done what he's done with Make-A-Wish. That's been pretty much the guy that's carried the ball since the Attitude Era was gone. It's hard to boo or cheer that person, but also at the same time, we've seen this shtick before. It was great when it wasn't all the time. It's great that he's on his last run, but it's also professional wrestling. You only could do so much to keep people engaged. They had a high point with WrestleMania 40 being, that was the highest point that they've had reached in a long time, and they slowly have came down. Right, and with Raw not being on USA is even worse because you're closing off your audience because Netflix, though a lot of people have Netflix, who said they're choosing to watch Raw live?
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
2 million people watch it live weekly.
We said that. So in pre-tape, if you will, we were talking about in the pre-show, and I was saying how I talked about the exact thing you just said. Like I'm talking about almost to a T, right, Ricky? Like we talked about the not need to see live, right? And I said that, but then I was like, at the same time, I will order a AEW pay-per-view, but I like the shock and awe. But you're not getting the shock and awe anymore. You hit the nail on the head. It has declined since WrestleMania 40. I was in attendance. I sat with family and friends of Cody. My buddy kind of set it all up, right? I happened to sit with them in night 2. Night 1, I sat in my own seats. But the feeling that night, oh man, if you look at my Instagram, first off, Mr. Sean G at 18 Instagram. You would see if you kind of scroll a little bit, you'll find that night, and you could hear in my voice that level of intensity that I knew something was going to be so special. Something was going to be so special that I had to, while that was happening, go on SeatGeek.com and buy my entire family Monday Night Raw tickets to the next night, right, at Wells Fargo, right? Because I had to be there. And Marcus hit it on the head, man. You don't got to do that now because, like, what's stopping you to the next day? Why do I have to go? I could go on social media. What is making me? This is not 1997 anymore. Like, when you watch WCW, even with WWF or WWE at that point, whatever it was, you were like, shit, I got to watch what happens next week.
I have to watch.
At no point have any organization at all since, I'm gonna say it, since the start of AEW, have I felt that I had to. The reason why I had to with the start of AEW was because it was so unique. Because at any given moment, someone was popping on my screen from the other company.
Yep.
Right? Like, you had no idea. I gotta watch it live. Oh my God. But now it's not like that. And it sucks to say that, but at the same time, Monday Night Football is coming up in Eagles are on Thursday, and then we got Monday Night Football on Monday, right? And so here you go. TNA, Eagles, Cowboys, please. It's not even a thought in my mind. Not a thought in my mind that's the most important thing to do at that moment. Like, right. You're not giving me let's say you're not giving me a choice. You're giving me many options, but you're not giving me something that's a competitive option at this point. Sorry.
Very true. As we go into the next segment, well, looking back when wrestling was good, it's not so good in 2025, but when wrestling was good with this. So that's right. This week in wrestling history, as we take a look back at the year 2000, August 17th, it was the match of
SummerSlam.
So match to TLC.
Shit.
Where is it? One. This is kind of as I was getting into wrestling, but I also remember the match. Was this a match that it was either this one or the second one that they stood on the table to bring down the titles? I think that was WrestleMania, wasn't it? That might have been this.
No, was it WrestleMania they brought down the titles? I didn't WrestleMania was the spear. WrestleMania was the spear.
Yes.
WrestleMania was the spear. I mean, did they stand on the top? I don't know if they stand on the tables to get the titles at WrestleMania.
And then I think, Edge and Christian was on the table, and then one took them down, and then one had to kind of just stay crouched because of the table would have toppled. I think that was the story.
But I think this SummerSlam was the start of it, was it not? Like it was the start of the I want to say the trilogy, the triple. Let's call it the triple tag team.
Yeah, the TLC. So yeah, my memories of it are, as I said, this was getting into wrestling. But yeah, good match. He started TLC matches off.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're getting those three guys, right? Those three teams. I mean, the storytelling, right? So you have, what's crazy is, you have these three teams, and for the most part, they're still all. I mean, all of them are alive, right? Some of them are going to be wrestling each other in Lowell, Massachusetts, very soon, and one final time, and they're all the psychology. They're all psychology. All these guys are maybe not Jeff, but but he's more like, piss and vinegar, let's say. But like with Bully and with Devon and with Copeland and Chris, they're all masters of psychology. I couldn't imagine being in that room with these guys, just putting together this match and the ideas behind it. Unbelievable. And what led to, in my opinion, one of the top 5 WrestleMania matches of all time.
Yeah, TLC 2 way better than the first, I thought. Marcus, what was your thoughts about TLC 1? Has he frozen?
He's frozen.
I think you just said it. I loved everything about TLC 1. I mean, the psychology, the fact is 3 teams, and the 3 teams have different styles. Yeah. So like the Hardys, high flying, that's where the ladders came from. Their use of the ladders, that's their specialty. The concerto with ENC. So, smashing your face with a chair. Sandwiching you in the chair.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. And then, of course, them damn Dudleys been using tables since they was in ECW. They just can't light them on fire once they got to WWE.
I mean, think about this, right? It's crazy. I mean, in reality, the TLC pay-per-view came off of the knowledge of this match. Yes. Right? It's like, Edge and Christian, they like chairs. Let's have a chairs match. Oh, the Dudleys like tables. Let's have a tables match now. The ladder match was always there, but, further obviously had it. But it's crazy. Think about it. It's really crazy how,
they're groundbreaking. These guys were groundbreaking. Yep. These guys set the stage for a pay-per-view, right? Like, let's really, one, that match is a staple in WWE, and there's numerous ways that you can do it, right? If it's a TLC match with a title on the line, you get to you could climb the ladder. You can put someone through the table or pin them, right? Like, there's multiple ways of winning that match. If it's just a TLC match, just to have a TLC match, that's one hell of a way of probably closing off a feud. But it shows you, even though WWE at that time period still didn't give 2 shits about tag teams, they had to give 2 shits about those 3 tag teams.
And they don't. And they still, what's crazy and sad to say, talking about the ups and downs, right, of the business, right, and the engagement of the business. I mean, if you just go back to WrestleMania 39, main event night 1 was a tag team match. Actually, main event of night 1 of 40, a tag team match. A little different, right? But a tag team match nonetheless. I think their show Unreal is not real, right? First off, right? I think it's right. Unreal is not real. I think it's scripted and what they want you to see. Because the real realities of what I want to see is I want to understand how they envision tag teams. Like, really, how they really envision it, how they really go back to those times, like you said, like those they didn't care too much about tag teams, but they made you care. Like, I think WWE's mantra in the early 2000s, late 2000s, now, right? Everything is I think we'll have a few tag teams and then we'll put two singles wrestlers who are really good singles together and put them together and make a tag team to inevitably make a feud between those two and go off on their own. And what's left is the tag team. How many times have you guys seen the tag teams of blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah win the championship on like their second time together, and then inevitably they lose in feud?
Alexa and Charlotte. There you go. Random thrown together tag teams and they won the titles. Like, okay.
Well, no.
Charlotte's different because this was actually the idea behind putting Charlotte with Alexa was to get Charlotte over.
Yeah, to get Charlotte over, to play off of something that play off of a promo battle that they had a while ago, is that Charlotte's a bitch.
Yeah.
And that she has no friends. And to prove that Charlotte can be a friendly person, to have a friend, they put her with someone that's very likable, that the crowd really likes and someone understands, Alexa Bliss. So Charlotte is different because they also built to the point that they're not friends. They're not friends, which I need that shirt. That's a good shirt.
Yeah, we're frenemies.
We're not friends, but they're acquaintances.
Yes.
Right? So I think more so on the line, and you could tell me if I'm wrong, like HBK and Stone Cold obviously winning tag titles. Why? They was about to fight each other at WrestleMania, yet we're going to pair them up real quick. They're going to win tag titles. Or Dude Love and Austin, right? Yeah. That's not a tag team. We're just going to throw those two people together.
HBK and John Cena, I think, did the same thing.
Yeah, same thing. So that's what he means, Ricky. He don't mean like he don't mean like Sheamus and Cesaro, right? Yeah. They brawled a lot, but then they paired up and they formed a tag team. Alexa and Charlotte, they fought before, they paired up, formed a tag team. Like Shawn and Austin, Shawn and Cena, those aren't tag teams. Those are just two singles guys. Apparently, this is somebody wants to go after the other person's title, but whoever's in charge teamed them up together and was like, "Hey, you guys are a team. You're going to get beat by the tag champions." Psych. No, you're not.
What do we do? What do we do? What do we do with them? They got contracts. Why are they sitting in catering? Let's pair them together.
Yeah.
Let's pair them together and fight the headbangers.
So the next notable date was way back in 1992, before my time. SummerSlam in Wembley. Just like take a look at that picture right there.
Yeah, Bret Hart versus the British Bulldog, baby.
Some people's favorite ever match, Bulldog Bret. I think this was the very first overseas show they did in 1992. So way before my time, way before. 8 years. 8 years, I suppose, is a long time.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've seen it. Great pay-per-view, great event. I'll go to you first, Marcus. Your thoughts on your memories, should I say, on this pay-per-view?
I mean, I was only 2 years old. No, actually, I was only 1 when that pay-per-view came out. So, nothing. The only thing I know of is that the British Bulldog was high off of cocaine.
Yeah.
No, crack. He had done crack the night before, and Bret pretty much talked him through the whole match.
I was 9. I saw it live.
Oh, wow. Okay. So for me, the only thing I remember is that British Bulldog was a crackhead, at least at that moment, and Bret had to pretty much guide him through the whole match, which is why Bret Hart is probably the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will, because I could never walk someone through a match and they still high off of crack.
You could in the 80s.
I'm sure.
Dark Side of the Ring. No. That. So the match was great, right? It's funny because, again, I was 9 years old, watched it live. I thought it was really cool because we had a black box. You know those black boxes, right? So I had the black box. And what was really cool was, and again, it speaks to what we talked about, again, in pre-show, talking about timings of things and how long things are. What was really cool about this was a show that was in the middle of the day for us,
Yeah.
Right. So I was 9 and I wasn't staying up past a certain time. Right. And this having a daytime show for us, I was able to see the whole thing. Do I only remember right now Brett and Bulldog? Of course. Right. That was the staple of the show. But no differently than we all talk about the Silverdome, Pontiac Silverdome, 93,000 people, right? We talk about that. We talk about Wembley, right? I don't know. Okay. Do you guys remember? Well, Ricky, you were there. Do you remember when Cena went to Money in the Bank in London? Do you remember what he? Do you remember what? Do you remember what he said?
Sorry, say that again.
Do you remember what he said?
He wants WrestleMania to be here, but that's what every wrestler says. But yeah,
but they've had. So I always say you have to have something to go off of, or you better know what's going on, right? Like, and you have the image you just showed, right, of the tons of people in Wembley, and know that you're going to double. I don't want to say double that, but you're going to get 40% growth of that, right? And if you do 2 days, both of them are sold out at that number. Doesn't really matter. And I'm waiting to see when the trigger is going to be pulled. Saudi aside, I'm waiting to see when the actual trigger is going to be pulled to have a WrestleMania overseas, a real one, not one that's bought.
Obviously, next year is Vegas,
Riyadh or Jeddah.
And then I think Saudi gets. Well, okay, the rumors are.
Saudi gets the Rumble.
The rumors are, Mania. Well, again, this is just a rumor. Take it for what you will. Mania is going to be in the US and Saudi at the very same time, which is ridiculous.
Not a real It's not a real Mania to me. I want something where you get 93,000 people in Wembley Stadium, right? It's Wembley. You know, that's what made All In so interesting. That first one in that second one, but like the first one in London was because they are clamoring for this WrestleMania, and they'll take whatever they can get where that's concerned. It's just different. It's a different environment. And in 1992, you saw that. European fans didn't come up out of nowhere. Y'all have always been there. You've always been there. And every single time that Marcus and I watch a show that emanates overseas, we both look at each other going, that's a crowd.
Yeah.
Like, that's a crowd. Not in Biloxi, Mississippi. Or in Garland, Texas. Right? Yeah. Like, it's great to have. But I'm a vice president of sales and marketing, right? And what I always tell people is you have to saturate. Once you saturate a market, you need to grow it out and make sure that, keep checking into your saturation of your market, but don't continue to saturate it, right? And WWE has continued to saturate the United States of America up until the past few years, where they've realized that everywhere else you go is needing this.
Yep.
But what we don't need is what inevitably will happen. What inevitably will happen is Money in the Bank will be 2 nights. I can almost guarantee it.
Oh, God.
Okay. We know Royal Rumble already is going to be 2 nights. We know this. It's going to happen. Mania, SummerSlam, all of them 2 nights, right? Because they like the bottom line. But that doesn't always make it right. 1 night in Lyon, France, 1 night in London, England, 1 night in Berlin, Germany. Just look at Marcus and I are huge NFL fans. Look at how Europe fiends every time that there's, with the exception of the Jaguars games, it happens. But for the most part, they fiend for the NFL to be in Europe. It's the same situation. And you saw that in that picture. That was in the 90s.
And the third and final look back is in 2019. Actually, on this date, August 31st, with the crown Chris Jericho as the very first ever AEW World Champion. We'll quickly speed through this because I want to finish in 40 minutes to get set up for my Clash in Paris watch along. Great person to put the title on, or legend, or the all. It's Chris Jericho, one of the all-time greats, I suppose. Yeah, no. When you think of the all-time greats, you think Rock, Hogan, Cena, Austin, all those. Never Jericho, but great person to put the title on. Big name. Marcus, your thoughts quickly.
I would put. I'll put Chris Jericho on my Mount Rushmore.
Ooh.
He's an innovator,
Ooh.
and at his weight size.
Ooh.
Those other people were Vince McMahon's drooling dream, not Jericho, light heavyweight guy. So, I mean, I don't have no true memories of this because I wasn't watching AEW. I didn't really care for it at that moment. But Chris Jericho, once again, making history. That's what all I gotta say about that.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a little. I know you still want quick. There's a little bit to unpack on this, right? So Marcus's statement that we're talking about the Mount Rushmores, right? Mount Rushmore will be a thing to anybody in their graves talk about, right? Is because it's really the definition of what is Mount Rushmore, right? Some people's Mount Rushmore is about wrestling, right? So Chris Jericho can easily get onto that Mount Rushmore there, but I deferred back to industry financially, right? Chris Jericho is on the Mount Rushmore to me of individually reinvention of a particular individual, right? So I don't think at this point anybody has done it better than Chris Jericho in the ability to take and reinvent his character, go away, reinvent, come back, right? So that to me, I'm not going to put it on a Mount Rushmore because that's not a financial thing. Of like, if Chris Jericho wasn't around, like if the people on the Mount Rushmore weren't around, we wouldn't be in the place by which we're in right now. That's just bar none. But I love Chris Jericho, and I do remember that day. It was really great that we knew that I knew he was going to win. It wasn't going to be Hangman like at that moment. Like this wasn't going to happen. Like Hangman's great, but it wasn't going to happen. I think Chris Jericho did an amazing job as that first AEW champion. A lot of people talk about Chris Jericho and how they boo him when he goes. This man spent time bringing people with him. Orange Cassidy, to name just one, Hangman. And I believe that everything that Chris Jericho has ever done has never really been selfish. From an industry perspective, it might not look it sometimes if you're kind of a clouded judgment, but I think that Chris Jericho will go down when you go back in time. I believe Chris Jericho is on the same wavelength when you're going to go back in 20 years as Bret Hart.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. So seeing as the man himself is here, I will play his ad and I'm going to get into today's wrestling talk. But let me play this ad quickly. So that is right. Marcus's channel right there. Give me 1 second. Always in the description, but there it is on your screens. If you're a fan of food and drink reviews, cocktail making, you need to know the latest deodorant to buy. That's the channel for you. Marcus's channel right there. Also in the description. Go and check it out. Lay the smackdown on that notifications bell. But let's get into today's wrestling. With this right here. So, give me one. So, yes, wrestling roundup starting with Heatwave. I'm going to do these double matches, just kind of a case of time. So we kicked off with Lola Vice defeating Jada Parker and Kalani Jordan. I thought it would be Jada Parker's time, but cool. I understand why Lola's won, as the AAA connection. So looks like it is her time. Does she go on to win the title at No Mercy? Possibly. I'll get your thoughts, guys, on a second as I go over the next match, which was Dark State taking the tag titles from Hank and Tank. This makes them the step above being just another faction on the roster. Yeah, there's my thoughts. Marcus, what are your thoughts about Lola Vice winning the Dark State, taking the tag team titles?
It's weird with Dark State winning the titles because it's like, how they going to? Or it's a 4-man team. 2 of them won. Are they freebird the rules? But also, aren't they supposed to be anti-establishment? You know what? They become establishment. It's weird. They're like the fake version of the Shield. It's weird. Lola Vice winning, I really do like it. I mean, you gotta remember, she's one of the crossovers. She's one of the NXT talents that goes over to AAA, not the other way around. So I think her winning is really good because, once again, she travels between both companies and she's been putting in a lot of work. Do I think she's going to be JC Jane? No, but I do like the fact that she's number 1 contender now.
They put the titles on Dion Lento. To you, these are just 2 random people. Dion Lennox and
no, I watched the match, but what I'm saying is, if Dark State is the tag champions, are they Freebird ruling this?
True. Yeah. But Sean, your thoughts on Lola taking the win and going on to face JT Jane at No Mercy and Dark State becoming your new tag team champions?
All right, so this happened last Sunday, correct?
Yeah, I don't know if you watched it or not. I'll say the same.
I got 2 words for you. Ready? Will Ospreay. Moving on.
Okay.
Look, anytime, and we can use Mania weekends as the example here, right? Like, anytime there's just too much, you have to figure out what to really watch, and you're going to watch one thing live, then you're going to reboot on something else, right? NXT is not something that I'm going to reboot on, right? The Black and Gold brand, yeah, right. The Adam Cole brand, right? The Gargano, the Ciampa, like back, yeah, of course. So you don't want to miss that stuff. When there's the crossover, I'll watch the matches of crossover. Joe Hendry, Mike Santana come, like things that like you don't normally see, right, in life. I want those. Anytime the Trick goes over the other way, I'm a huge fan of Trick. So, go that. I want to see that. I'm a huge fan of Obafemi. And so apparently is The Office there, right? So I watch him because I think that just his presence alone, right, is so good. Lola Vice, she's good, but great. But that's wonderful. Right? What's going to happen when she gets to SmackDown? She's going to be released in 120 days. She's going to be sitting in catering, eating pico de gallo. It's nothing wrong with her. I think she's very good for what she's doing, but I think there's an oversaturation of women wrestlers right now, where people don't even. Nikki Cross barely even wrestles. I think it's impossible. It's impossible with the amount of time that they have to get everybody in. That's why I do think she'll probably stay in NXT for a while. Okay,
so you didn't watch Heat Wave, that's fine. I'll just get Marcus's thoughts about the rest of the matches. So Ash Byligans won. Shocked us all. I thought JC was going to lose the title at Bound for Glory in October, but Ash Byligans shocked us all. Becoming a double champion, knockouts champion, and tag team champion, taking the title back to TNA. Shocker. And Blake Monroe defeated Jonah Grace. Okay.
Hey, relax. I like her. I've always liked her.
Oh, my answer is okay. That's it. Just we'll get to NXT, but I think she's now gone back to being just another woman on the roster. Marcus, your thoughts about Blake Monroe winning and Ash Byling becoming your brand new TNA Women's Champion?
I like the victory for Monroe. I think it's a good victory for her. I mean, Jordan is supposed to be one of the up and coming challengers for the NXT title at some point in time down the line. But for Blake to beat her, it elevates her a bit, so that's good. And as I told Ricky, that's a dream match. That was actually a dream match being had. A former AEW World Women's Champion and a former TNA Knockouts Champion going at it in NXT. That's a dream match. He disagreed, but I also don't care about Ricky's opinions a lot of the time. We just differ a whole bunch. As far as Ash by Elegance winning, first of all, she's revamped who she was as a character, because when she was on WWE TV, she sucked. She was supposed to be this muscle girl, another China clone. And what she's done is made her kind of took a little bit of the Blake Monroe-ish type of styling, but made it her own. And in her faction, her whole faction has titles. There's tag champions, and then there's her. So I think that's dope. That's dynamite. I love that.
No, she is the tag team champion. Her and Heather Balligans, the other one is just there. But I know they made it look like the other two were tag team champions because they were holding them. But yeah, I'm sure it's Ash. She's the double champion now.
No, fantastic.
Ethan Page and Chelsea Green beats Tavian Heights and Tara May Steele. I think Tara and Tavian should have won that. Chelsea over, which was surprising. And then Obafemi retains. He's got Ricky Saints next. I think Ricky Saints does it at No Mercy. That'll be 9 months as champion, I think. And then Oba's coming up to the main roster. My rating for Heatwave, I'll say an opener. It was a decent pay-per-view. Your thoughts, Marcus, of the last 2 matches and rating for Heatwave?
Hold on. Not the Oba one. What was the other one before the Oba match?
Ethan Page to Chelsea.
Canada versus America. I mean, Chelsea being over is a thing because Chelsea Green is probably the most liked character in one of the most liked women on the WWE roster, because her character is kind of goofy, is funny. She's a Karen, but she's also trying to be presidential. It's kind of fun. It's kind of a fun character, and people want her to win the Women's World Championship because of how enjoyable she is and her work in the ring. I didn't expect Tavian or Steele to really win because they're still, to me, they're not over enough. It's just Steele can do something on her own. Tavian Heights, he's just another NQCC dude that should have stayed there. Just, he don't do it for me. As far as Oba versus Javon, that was a banger. Of course it was. It's 2 different styles, but the Darula won again. And I can't wait to see Ricky Saints get his ass kicked. I can't stand Ricky Saints because of the stupid ass name change. Because his name is stupid sounding, he needs to get his ass whooped.
That's not his fault, though.
I know. He could have picked something way better. That was even close to, instead of Ricky Starks, he could have been Ricky Stark. Right? Like just a play on names. He could have figured it out. Ricky Saints, I'd be forgetting that his name is Saints.
First off, he didn't need to change his name. AEW didn't own it.
I know. WWE fucked with him, and he should have fought them for it. My rating for Heatwave is a good mid card. Good mid card. PLE. It had some surprises. It was cool to watch. I can't wait until No Mercy to see Ricky Saints get his ass kicked.
Don't forget, you've got today, Worlds Collide, WrestlePalooza.
Huh?
It's too much.
What do you mean today? Did you say today?
Clash in Paris.
Is that it? That's it, right? Clash in Paris, that's it, right?
And then Worlds Collide, WrestlePalooza, No Mercy.
Yeah, but not all on the same day.
No. They're all in 1 month. 3 in 1 month.
All right, so Clash in Paris is today.
Conversation is way different conversation.
Clash in Paris today. In September, it's WrestlePalooza. It's Worlds Collide.
All out. We're all in. All out. All in. All in. All out.
See, just too much. But yeah.
That's a whole different conversation, right? The whole different conversation to the fact of that it's not being covered enough, that it's so blatantly obvious that when you have a pay-per-view and it's on September 20th, and then magically another pay-per-view shows up on September 20th, we know what you're doing. We're not stupid. Like, that's stupid. And then you're making people choose. That's how you lose fans.
Yep.
Speaking of AEW, Dynamite, I just purely based off results. I do not watch, and I've looked at the results and think missed nothing. So, John Moxley defeats Daniel Garcia. Harley Cameron and Chris Statlander go over Megan Bain and Penelope Ford. Don Keller's family defeat Brody King, Bandido, and Jet Speed. The Ops over Ricochet and his tag team, whatever they are called, Gates of Agony, I think.
Yep.
And Darby Allin, Claudio. Darby Allin won. Ugh. Anything to add there, Sean? Anything whatsoever?
Because you skimmed over what actually is important here. It's not on there.
Well, Sean, the thing is, Ricky doesn't watch it, so you gotta highlight it.
Yeah. So here's the main focal point of it. Yes. So Claudio picked up Darby, right? Launched him like a lawn dart. But at the end of the show, you had Hangman and Omega face to face. Right. So you have that again, right? You have that. Before that, you had something that peppered into Collision. Right. So yes, Mox and Garcia fought. But then on Collision, right before Daniel Garcia had his match, Mox popped up and gave him a little 30-second like coaching session. So you can already see that Daniel Garcia, and this is just a guess, and my guess is Daniel Garcia joins the Death Riders and they kick out Wheeler Yuta. Right? But I'm saying, but that's what it is. Listen, you got to open yourself up to other things.
But if I'm looking at the results and thinking I've missed nothing, then
no. But think about this, right? Here's the thing. Okay, so you listed off how many matches?
5, I think, and not one of them I thought, oh no, I need to go watch
5
this.
matches. Do you know what 5 matches is? 5 matches. That's an entire SmackDown and Raw for a week.
True. Very true.
Right? So, listen, I have been to over 20, 25 AEW shows, maybe a little more. You get your money's worth.
True, very true. Yeah,
They pack too much in, right? We know that they pack too much in. They pack too much in, and you have WWE who doesn't pack enough in. There is no happy medium in between, but we roll with it, right? I don't see. It goes back to what we talked about earlier, which is I never missed a Dynamite or a whatever a Rampage right back in the day, but now I can't afford to miss everything because nothing is a surprise anymore, and you have to leave a pay-per-view or a PLE needing me to clear my schedule to see Raw the next night or Wednesday Dynamite or SmackDown, right? Like, let's be clear. And I know that Cody's had a baby and clearly, right, all that stuff, all that kind of good stuff. But Cody won the title at MetLife. Has he done shit since?
He got took out by Drew, and that was it.
He got Drew because he was going to do the whole, the parental thing. Yeah, not the parental thing, the like paternity leave, right?
Making a movie as well.
And yeah, that probably lasted like a couple days, right? Like, he's not the star, and so right, but he didn't speak. I know why he didn't. This is the situation that's happening right now. And I'm a huge Cody fan. Massive Cody fan. Again, go to my Instagram. You'll see me cut a promo on The Rock. prior to WrestleMania 40 talking about the basement of parents' houses and stuff, the Cody crybabies. But you're starting to see what happens. If you put Cody Rhodes in the same ring with John Cena that day after, that SmackDown after, Cody would have crickets. You're starting to see this. This is what made Cody so great. The white meat babyface going into the Mania, he was able to keep that tone, even up to SummerSlam, keep that tone to his white meat babyfaceness. The idea is Cody is the best heel in the game. You just don't realize it yet. Cody is what Logan Paul will aspire to be. Cody is what John Cena wished he would be when he was a heel. Cody is everything about Cody is heel. Everything. How he speaks, how he carries himself. He is heel. We just love him.
Very true. People have said that he dresses as a heel. And in suits, and usually heels dress in suits. Look at Paul Heyman, or look at Chris Jericho. Jericho before.
Look at your boy. Look at your boy. Your boy, your best boy, right? He hasn't changed how he speaks. He hasn't changed what he does. He was a hated heel in the bloodline in the beginning, right? He's the same dude. Hasn't changed. The people got not fickle as much. And the people are getting fickle with Cody. And when that turn happens, the problem is everybody's going to be excited about it.
Yeah, very true. Speaking of Raw, we'll quickly speed through it. The first Raw in Birmingham, England, after 12 years, kicked off with the OTC Roman Reigns. We didn't get to speak for 5 minutes because the crowd was singing. It is what it is. Heyman, Reed come out, sets up the match for today. Dragon Lee beats JD McDonough. Cool. Your thoughts on any of this? Sean, Reigns' promo and Dragon Lee over JD McDonough. Anything? Okay. Marcus, quickly. Any thoughts?
I like Bronson Reed. I think Bronson Reed's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, the Shula Fowler is fantastic. Yeah.
Paul Heyman clearly came up with that. It's brilliant.
Marcus, any thoughts on Lee over JD?
Wait, JD lost to Dragon Lee?
Yeah.
It's a bunch of bollocks. That's what that is.
Big head.
Kofi Kingston defeated Penta.
Kofi Kingston won?
Kofi, and I've said it before. I'll say it each and every week. Penta just feels like just another guy on the roster. He came in with a lot of hype, and he's Penta coming to WWE now.
Ricky, let me ask you this question: what do you do? How long has Penta been in WWE?
I think he debuted the second week on Netflix, so not 8 months. So I think second week on Netflix. I think 8 months.
Okay, where did you expect Penta to be? Since he's just another guy on the roster, where did you expect Penta to be at?
I would have put the title on him at WrestleMania. I would have had him win the IC title.
What title? Hold on. What title?
If I was booking, if Triple H came to me and said, "Here you go, you book," he would have won the title at WrestleMania.
What title?
IC title. It was in the Fatal 4-Way.
Never.
Nah.
There's no reason for it. The pop was for Dom.
Nah.
They played for the pop.
It's too soon for Penta to win any kind of gold in the dub right now. So he has to go through these growing pains. Is he over? Absolutely. Does he still need to put in WWE time in the ring? Absolutely. So him losing to Kofi, who, we could say what we want about Kofi. Kofi is an established star, multi-time tag team champion, former WWE champion, multi-time mid-card champion of both U.S. and Intercontinental. It's Kofi Kingston over Penta. It makes sense. It makes sense to me.
Okay. Becky Lynch came out interrupted by Nikki Bella. They're in a match today. This was okay. The promos were okay. Becky got heat by mentioning Ozzy Osbourne, who was born in Birmingham.
Yeah.
She got heat, but Rhea Ripley over Roxanne Perez. Whoopie-doo. AJ Styles over Finn Balor. Anything here, Marcus? Anything to add with Styles over Balor and Rhea over Roxanne?
Nope.
Okay. And your main events are Braun Breaker defeat LA Knight. Yeah. LA Knight lost going into his title match today.
Marcus, do you think that
Uso makes a save. Punk then, because Reigns said earlier on in the night to Jay, Punk can't be trusted. So Jay super kicks both Punk and Knight. There we go. That's Raw. Again, you take out Reigns. What actually happened? Nothing.
Well, I think something did happen. I think you're glossing over at the end here. I think it's suffice to say at this point, we need to say that LA Knight is the face version of Kevin Owens. He will never win the big one.
Which is unfortunate because he's.
I want you to think about it. How many times did Kevin Owens was in a title match against Roman Reigns or whatever, it's something with Roman Reigns, and they had to put him into or with Cody, right? How about this with Cody? How many matches with Cody for the title? And he had to put him in a tag team with Sami Zayn to get the big moment. Yes. Now, I understand he had a moment. He just like LA Knight, he's a guy for moments, but he's not a guy that's going to, I don't know why, carry the heavyweight title ongoing. He had it before, but LA Knight is the same situation. Is the same situational guy. How many times did he fight Roman? How many times did he's wrestling Seth? Oh, I beat Seth in 12 minutes because they did a fake injury. If I was him, I'd have been like, don't use me as a ploy in this scheme here. Right? Like, and he's going to lose tonight.
Yeah.
He's probably going to take the pin.
I think either Knight or Jay takes the pin, yeah.
If Jay takes the pin, that'll be a big deal. Jay does not belong taking the pin.
It won't be Punk.
No.
So it's either Jay or Knight taking the pin.
But Punk would take the pin. I don't think it's the right thing to do, but Punk would take the pin. He's done it before.
That would be shocking, but I don't think he does.
I think LA Knight's the person who would take the pin. You want to shock us? You want us? Have LA Knight win.
I think LA Knight taking the pin is a mistake. I think Punk should take the pin because it furthers the Rollins Punk stuff. It makes more sense that way. Sean, to kind of answer your question, in my opinion, the reason why they don't give Knight the ball to let him run with it is because of his age. He's a bit older. He's a bit up there. They're not sure. They're unsure. He didn't do a great job carrying the U.S. title. He did a good job, not a great job. WWE, as you know, is very fickle about who they believe in.
Yes.
Who they give the ball to. 100%. And I think in this situation, the right thing to do would be to give LA Knight the ball, even if it's for a couple weeks, for a month. Give him the ball. See how he controls it. If you don't like the way he got it, all right, cool. Seth could pin him next month at WrestlePalooza. Mm-hmm. But I think I would love to see LA Knight win. And I know we're supposed to be doing a predictions thing later, but yeah.
Yeah, but also we'll get onto NXT, the show. Forget Raw, forget SmackDown. The show's NXT.
Sure is.
Ricky Saints came on out, followed by Josh Briggs. Xavier comes out and sets up a match for later. Kalani Jordan pins and beats Blake Monroe. In my opinion, this just made Blake Monroe feel just another woman on the roster. In my opinion, zero special about her. Just, okay. I would have had, she'd been there a month, 2 months. I would have not had her defeated for a while, but that's just my opinion. I know Marcus disagreed, but that's just my opinion. Lexus King in a blindfold match knocks off Miles Bourne. So, Marcus, anything to add about Blake Monroe taking the loss and Miles Bourne also taking the loss?
All right, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked about Penta. She's been there for less time than Penta has. What do you expect her to be at?
Again, this is why I'm not a booker. But if I'm
you're
booking,
damn right. You're damn right. This is why you're not a booker.
If I was a booker, if again Shawn Michaels, Triple H, whoever came to me and said book the show, Blake Monroe doesn't lose until next year sometime.
But here's the question: how, by saying that, how do you know how she can handle adversity? You have to define character development, right? And defining character development is someone who can handle those things. They do that in WWE a lot. They'll do those things where how they handle themselves backstage knowing that they're going to lose, how they handle themselves in front of the cameras when the cameras are saying you tapped out, just using that as the example here. How, does it rattle them? And nobody gets rattled when you consistently win all the time.
Also, Blake Monroe, like, look at the NXT women's roster is literally the best women's roster in all of wrestling.
Yep.
You expect her to be everybody on that roster? That's kind of wild. That's wild shit. Knowing that if you even look, I mean, yes, she beat Jordan Grace, but if you really look at the two of them, it's like, how did Jordan Grace lose to that girl? Who knows, right? And there's also Jada Parker. You know what I mean? That women's roster is stacked. So her losing to a former North America champion and Kalani Jordan actually makes sense. I didn't really care for the Ricky Saints promo because fuck Ricky Saints for real. The blindfold match, I didn't really care for it. I knew some buffoonery was going to happen.
I could just say something so bad about that match.
Because it's a blindfold match. I knew some buffoonery was going to happen because it was so predictable. They really round back the clock and used a Triple H versus whoever the fuck he was facing match.
Oh man, you're missing it. You guys are missing it. It's gonna be so bad when I say it. How are they gonna turn Miles Bourne into Helen Keller?
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
The man's already deaf, and now you want to make him blind?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, are you kidding? But to answer the thing that Marcus was saying about the timing on things, Ricky, you're not thinking about this. Who is your NXT Women's Champion?
JC Jane.
Right. Is she strong?
Not anymore. She lost at Heatwave.
Oh, but she never been strong.
Nope. She's
never been strong.
She was never the leader of Fatal Influence.
She's the third person in Fatal Attraction.
She's a second. She's a second.
Maybe. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Priscilla Kelly right now on the Indies is raking in that paper. Okay? Let's be clear. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's an afterthought. And to be honest, she's an okay wrestler. She's okay. But she has people around her make her win. In no world did we ever think that this girl was going to be NXT champion.
Nah.
Right? So you got to look at Blake Monroe a little differently and realize, first off, this girl will eventually end up at the main roster, and she is prime. Look at her. She's gorgeous. She can talk. She can wrestle. If they really want to get deep with it, we've seen it with Toni Storm. Maybe not Ricky, because Ricky don't watch AEW. But we've seen it with Toni Storm. She can have a bloody match.
Yeah.
There's something bigger for her. Just need to get her footing.
So it's really quickly finish off some NXT. The culling of Ren Sinclair, Kendall Gray. Okay, I wouldn't. You've got to. Okay, I understand the tag team, the culling, but Kendall Gray gets 0 wins. She's from Evolve. For those that don't know who she is, Tara May Steele knocks out Alba Fire. Cool. And then your main event: Lola Vice, All Ruka and Zoria, hand fatal influence or loss. Obviously, it builds up Lola Vice for No Mercy. I'll give NXT a rating of. Now, Marcus, quickly your thoughts of those 3 matches. So culling over all women's matches, culling over Ren Sinclair and Kendall Gray, Tara May Steele over Alba Fire, and Fatal Influence losing.
I found all 3 of those matches quite entertaining. They were all fun to watch. Once again, NXT women's roster above all women's rosters. So it's obvious if they're main eventing the last 3 matches of the show were all women's matches. I'm giving NXT another mid card. They're consistent with their content. That's something that I can always say.
So to bring Sean up to speed, I rate shows from Jobber all the way to main event. So Jobber, dark match, opener, mid card, main event. Rarely does a show get main event from me, but anyway,
I would say, I would say something along the lines of it probably was the third match on the card, right? It was something in between opening, not second match, right? Not mid card, kind of third-ish, right?
very quickly, Evolve. Kendall Gray defeats Wendy Cho. Brooks Jensen sends Jordan Oasis packing. Obviously, he'd been released. And Callie Armstrong retains against Chantel Monroe, Nikita Lyons, and Comer Petrovic. For what it was, opener. Let's get right into SmackDown. They kicked off with Logan Paul, followed by John Cena. They hype up their match for later on today. Alexa Bliss over Chelsea Green. Okay. Meechin beats Kiana James in 6 seconds. So, Marcus, anything to add there? Alexa over Chelsea and Meechin beating Kiana James.
That's what's up. Meechin got a victory on SmackDown.
And Alexa over Chelsea.
Marcus's response was as long as that match was.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Alexa, I mean, who doesn't like Alexa Bliss? So yeah.
You had Drew and McIntyre come on out. Randy Orton did, and everybody. Oh, so when are they going to? I presume a random SmackDown, but it looks like WrestlePalooza, so Cody's not going to be there either. I don't know. I don't know what direction they're going down, but that's what they look like they're going down. Street Profits earned a title shot today as they defeated The Miz and Carmelo Hayes. And then in your main event, Sami Zayn, your new US champion. Pure MFTs. So maybe this is backstage heat. I don't know. Again, my opinion, take out Cena. You missed nothing. Mid-card.
Listen, even with Cena, I don't feel like I missed a damn thing.
So your opinion?
Wow, we missed Duolingo. That's what we missed. We missed like that was an impressive feat by Logan and Cena.
Yeah, their opening thing was good, but
speaking French, I didn't know Logan could do that.
But again, very, very quickly, take him or leave him. Some people love him, some people hate him. Vince Russo does a SmackDown review, and he said, and very quickly, he just said it's just the same weekly. They did the same 2 weeks ago. They did the same when Logan came out. It's just not progressing the storyline. It's just those two cutting a promo on each other, and that's it. But
I don't listen to what he says, bro.
Take him or leave. Some people hate him, some people love him, some people are in the middle. Some of the stuff he says are like out there, but whatever. Same with Jim Cornette. Some people love him, some people hate him, some people are in the middle.
I think if he was that good, he would have saved WCW.
Very quickly, Marcus, your thoughts on Street Profits getting a title shot and Solo winning the gold?
You mean Sammy?
Sammy winning the gold. Yeah.
I mean, you know me, I'm a Street Profits guy, so I would love to see the Street Profits beat the Wyatt Six today, in Paris. And I mean, sure, Sammy will beat Solo. Raise your hand if you want to see Sammy as another mid-card champion. Nobody. So we all want to see him win big gold. It's time for him to win the big stuff. So this is just another step on the ladder to hopefully something down the line. I don't know. I don't really care for Sammy winning mid-card gold.
Oh, yes, you know exactly what this is setting up for.
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you right now. It's a very simple answer. It's very simple when you just structure it out how it is. It's very simple. Sammy wins the Rumble in Saudi Arabia. Okay. And he wins at WrestleMania.
I hope for shock factor sake that you're wrong. Because I don't. The way I like to watch wrestling is that like I don't want to know stuff. I want to just see it. You know what I mean?
Me too. But you know what? I'll put it to you this way: if he doesn't win in Saudi, people are gonna boo.
True.
You don't want and Saudi gets what Saudi wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wins, goes on to face Rollins night 1 at WrestleMania, wins the title.
I don't know. I don't think Rollins no. I don't think Rollins has a title at Mania.
Who knows?
Yeah, I just don't see it. I think that it's hard to say where Punk is going with this, right? Still, because I know but I think inevitably we get to a place where it's going to be Roman and Rollins finally.
Whoever, if let's say, for example, say Rollins and Cody are still champion when WrestleMania comes around. I personally see it being Zayn, Rollins night 1, and there's your main event. Oh God,
I see. If you want that, how about this? Why don't you do Cody, Zayn with Cody as the heel?
So Zayn is going to be WWE champ. Oh, again, that's another discussion for another day.
Like you said, right? The big gold. There's only 2 golds to go up to after that, right?
Ricky hates the idea. All right, so let me just break it down for you real quick. So me and Ricky have been debating about this. Maybe this is going to be another segment called the Great Debate. But so as you know, WWE is pricing out their fans, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
$70,000 for a front row seat ticket at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Now, Ricky's whole thing is not everyone is a mega star. He's only basing this based upon mega stars and your appeal outside of WWE, which is only about 2 people, actually 1 person currently on the roster, and that's John Cena. My belief system is that since you are signed by the biggest sports entertainment entity on the planet Earth, you are a star. You can pull in you're pulling in the wrestling fans that are going to pay the money for it. Front row stands are not going to be empty. No. Sami Zayn is not of the caliber, according to Ricky, to be sitting up front for. And that no one on the roster outside of John Cena is worth sitting up front for $70,000. Now, Sean, you've sat up front for a WrestleMania.
Yep.
Would you say your WrestleMania experience is worth the money?
Yes. Oh, 70,000? No.
Yes.
But of what I paid, yeah. But no, and I don't think so. Unfortunately, so what people don't understand is, first off, when you look at the screen tonight for Clash of Paris, that first front row you see on hard cam side, they don't pay that money, right? Like the green shirt guy doesn't pay that money. Like, let's be clear. Like he has some kind of situation, right, where he gets in the guy from Haiti. It was Haiti or is it Trinidad, same thing. But my experience, wouldn't matter if it's Sammy, because you don't buy the tickets to Mania knowing anything about the card at that moment. Zero chance. Now, if we're all in agreement potentially that we all think that maybe Sammy should win the world title, but okay, great. So, but maybe Sammy's not the closing match. We haven't got a women's and for a while. Maybe it ends up being Io and Rhea finally, with Rhea finally being Io. I have no idea, right? You could always. Bully Ray says it the best on Busted Open, right? He says, you want to start with Detroit Rock City, you want to end at Rock and Roll all night, right? I said it last night to somebody at Titan, right? When he was like, I'm opening the show. And I said, make them want to be here. I said, you're never going to get them as hot as when they are when you first start the show. Set the tone for the rest of the show. It's the same thing. Maybe Sammy opens the show. Maybe he does. Maybe it's not against Cody. I was just throwing Cody out there. Right? Could be Seth. For all we know, right? I think that, again, if Sammy does win the Rumble and loses at Mania, he put him into the same category as LA Knight and Kevin Owens.
Yep. Someone they don't trust with the ball.
Somebody they don't trust with the ball, at all, right? But I will say this, not to sound controversial by any means. And Ricky's like, no, say it. You have to be very careful with Sammy. And the reason why I say this is very simple. Sammy wears a lot of Palestine stuff on his repertoire, if you will. And if that's pushed to the forefront, you have sponsors you're going to lose. Or he just needs to tone it down, which is whatever, right? But I'm saying is the WWE is so involved in their image, i.e. what we talked about before with everything happening, that if it was to be pulled a trigger, I don't know if he would have to change just his wardrobe, which is very easy to do, obviously, right? You can still wear it somewhere. But that could be a thing too. I don't know. Again, it's just speculation, right? Because they never talk about it, but it's there.
Very true. Marcus brought it up earlier, so we'll quickly do these, and they are. That is right. So, Clash in Paris predictions. We'll do double matches. We'll do predictions, 2 matches in a row, if that makes sense. Give me 1 second. There we go. The card is somewhere here. Somewhere. Let me find the picture really quickly. So there's the card. So you've got Street Profits taking on White at 6 for the WWE Tag Team titles. I think White at 6 retain. We'll go to another title match. Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella. It's WWE. It would not shock me if they put the title on Nikki. But I think Becky retains. Marcus, who have you got in those 2 matches?
Profits and Lynch.
Okay, and Sean, who have you got?
Wyatt 6 and Lynch. Just based on Friday, what you missed. Just based on Bo Dallas coming out and starting his speaking.
Yeah, well,
I think he's teasing a Street Profits breakup, which we've all, I think, wanted. I think Montez is amazing.
Sheamus versus Rusev. My answer is who cares? But I've got to pick, and I'll say Rusev. Cena versus Logan. I think Cena wins this to prepare him for Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza. Sean, who have you got in these 2? Rusev or Sheamus, or Cena or Logan?
Sheamus, because it's Donnybrook. I think so. I think Cena should win. I think that he probably won't because of Brock. I think Brock coming out and costing Cena. I think it's a detriment that Cena would lose this because he just is coming off of a loss, and then he's becoming the loser Cena again, where he's taking pins by Solo.
Yeah, we all remember that in Saudi. Marcus, who have you got? Rusev, Sheamus, Cena, Logan.
Sheamus, Cena.
Nice. Same.
Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed. Reed should win. What a major win it would be for Reed, but it's Reigns. He's going to get back the Shula Fowler, so Reigns is going to win, and Rollins retains. He's just won the title. He's not losing it this quick. Marcus, who have you got in those 2 matches?
Reed, Knight.
Really? Knight is winning the title? Okay.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love him to win, but who knows? It's WWE, and they want to pop the crowd, and that's what Triple H is all about the pop. So, who knows? Sean, who are your picks? Reigns or Braun? And
I think that You should have Bronson Reed when you elevate him. Reigns. Right. And I mean, it's not even a discussion. It's Rollins. I would be shocked if it wasn't Rollins.
Yeah, the only one who could see is Punk, but yeah, I think Rollins retains for a while. You could.
I will say really quickly, they should have done this at Mania. Was it Mania at SummerSlam? If Rollins wins, I think Reed should win. Just like when Rollins won at SummerSlam, Braun Breaker and Reed should have won that. Because like Seth is there, and then you're putting these two guys next to them, and you're like, dude, you just freaking lost. You just lost like 2 hours ago. Right? Like you're garbage, like standing behind him type stuff. Like I think that strengthen a group.
So I've got an ad to play here, so I'm going to play that and then get into the final segment, but let me play this first. That is right. Go ahead, like, subscribe, get this shared, all of that. So we're going to go into very quickly our final segment, which is
That was like that midget luchador guy in the top.
You'll have that, yeah. So yes, wrestling days out. What shows I've been to and what shows I've got coming up quickly. Gonna start my stream for Clashing Paris shortly. So I obviously went to WWE in Manchester. Yeah, good show. Joe Hendry was a surprise. I got to see a lot of people I've never seen live before. Punk is loved by Manchester. Punk is loved by the UK. Did pick up a program. For £15, it's just like pictures. Like, okay. Then outside, picked up a lanyard. So that they were selling those outside. And a poster. So they were selling those outside as well. So yeah. And then I went to a show on Friday called SCW Supremacy. My first ever time to this company. Yeah, it was good enough. And the shows I've got coming up are that one on September 12th. Tickets are still on sale now, so everybody go and get one. And then the day after, I have another brand new coming in for me. I'll be there. So yeah, the tickets are also on sale for that. But obviously in October, there is that coming up. So are tickets on sale now for it, Sean, or when do they go on sale?
Yeah, tickets are on sale for that. You can head to gremlinhousewrestling.com or gremlinhouse.com and you can get your tickets there. Same thing. It's just a bigger version of that.
So yeah, Zilla Fatu, the Sandman in the house.
Yeah.
So yeah. And the man on screen, as you see, Sean will be there.
I'll be there. I'll be at Titan Championship Wrestling in Toms River, New Jersey, September 13th. Be at also Titan Championship Wrestling in Bayville on the 27th of September. Hoboken Titan Championship Wrestling on the 11th of October. Obviously, the show for Gremlin House Wrestling on October 25th. in Hamilton, Mount Olympus show on the 15th of November for Titan, and then on the 16th, PWJ in Richfield Park, New Jersey.
All you guys go over and get tickets for those. Check out on Facebook all of those: Gremlin House Wrestling, Titan Championship Wrestling, and yeah. So if you do like and subscribe, I'll be starting my Clash in Paris stream in about 5 minutes from now. So we're going to be wrapping this up right now. So thank you to Sean for joining me. And Marcus, as always, very quickly, final words are over to you, quickly.
I mean, y'all been supporting, keep being out here, and always remember that if you don't pay, you gonna pay.
I did right. Like, subscribe, and always remember that it's Ricky J. No, that's not my catchphrase anymore. Ricky J brings the British bite to the fight.